I am Jacob Hornberger, Libertarian candidate for president. Republican presidential candidate Nikki Hailey is out on the campaign trail in New Hampshire, telling New Hampshire voters that the biggest threat America faces is China. She's even calling for a ban on Chinese investments in the United States because otherwise the Chinese will take over America. So if you own a home that's worth, let's say, $500,000 and some Chinese multimillionaire comes and offers you $1.5 million for it, don't take the money because otherwise you're contributing to the Chinese takeover of our country. This is such ludicrous nonsense. But it's a mindset that's held by all the presidential candidates in both major political parties. They see China as an official enemy or a competitor or a threat or a rival or a opponent. I mean, all these imperialistic type slogans. Let me tell you what the greatest threat to America is. This is what Haley and all the rest of the Democrats and Republicans do not understand. They just don't get. The biggest threat to America is not China, it's not Russia, it's not the illegal immigrants, the drug dealers, Syria, the Taliban, Afghanistan, Iraq, none of those things. The biggest threat to America is the malignant tumor that is on the body politic and has been there for a long time, and that's the national security establishment. The Pentagon, the vast military-industrial complex, the CIA, and the NSA. This is where all this constantly shifting array of official opponents, enemies, rivals, and so forth originates. They're the ones that label these foreign nations as new official enemies. And they're the ones that incite these foreign wars and these crises and chaos in order to justify their continuation, their continued existence, and their ever-increasing power and largesse within America's governmental structure. Haley says, the Chinese have been preparing for war against the United States for decades. Well, why not? You've got the national security establishment, the Pentagon and the CIA, with all their warships over there right next to China, along with all of their string of military bases next to China. You don't see any Chinese warships or military bases over here close to the United States. I mean, why wouldn't any nation, especially a nation that's labeled an official enemy, prepare itself to defend itself against what Martin Luther King called the greatest purveyor of violence in the world? And no one can deny that he was right. It is the greatest purveyor of violence in the world. And it is also the greatest destroyer of our freedom and well-being here at home. This is the biggest mistake America ever made, was converting the federal government to a national security state. And this is what Democrats and Republicans refuse to acknowledge. What we need to do is dismantle this totalitarian, omnipotent, dark side apparatus that comes with omnipotent powers, including state-sponsored assassinations and torture, indefinite detention, including against American citizens. And we need to restore our founding governmental system of a limited government republic with just a basic military force. That's the key to a strong nation, and it's the key to putting our nation back on the right track toward freedom, peace, prosperity, and harmony with the people of the world. I'm Jacob Hornberger, Libertarian candidate for president. My campaign website is jacobforliberty.com.